Hello everyone and welcome to another video on the bonus points, where today we're going to be deciding which game we're going to be covering on the podcast on May the 17th, because we have a gap. And we've asked you guys to suggest games, and then we're going to go through them and filter them until we come down to one that we've decided on. Joe, first of all, have you learned anything about our audience based on what they've picked?
Yeah, you know what? I was super impressed. So, because when we put out the call, so just to be clear, like the call is done. Like you're too late if you haven't submitted. So don't worry about the comments in here. But when we put out the call for the video, like I said that try to really think of games that we haven't done before, and like genres of games, types of games. Like please try not to do like sequels of things that we've done. And I've been really impressed with just how wide the variety is and how many of these games are types of games that we've never done before. So job done, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, well done. I agree. I did learn one other thing, which is our community seems to hate fighting games. So not only was not a single one suggested, it's also a genre we've never done. So I guess if we ever want to do an episode that no one watches, we'll do a fighting game. Okay, so what you're looking at today is the hype train. Hell yeah. We're basically going to be loading up about half of the games that I pulled. So when I pulled this list, I pulled everything. And then obviously the cutoff is the cutoff. So I think there's 32 games here, and we're going to be taking 15 ahead with us.
Yep.
And we're going to take turns picking. I guess we should start at the back, Joe, and then we'll agree on the driver of the hype train.
Okay.
And we'll take those through to the next stage.
Will that bias us for them like likely to win? Do you reckon?
Okay. So we'll take this through to the next stage, and then basically we're going to take it through various stages, whittle it down so there's just one left. And then
can we
go.
For the driver, can we pick? So for the protagonist of whatever game we choose to be the driver, if we were on a train, who would we trust most to drive us?
Okay. Well, don't forget that would be from what's left as well, because it's going to be the final pick. So would you like to go first? Yeah,
sure. So I really want to pick something that is very different from something that I've done before. Oh, actually, I know what I want. Because I'm going to put my love for this at the front and center, because it might help me with arguments later on. If I can find it. Wait. I don't think it's here.
What?
It's the game, the one where you're like a detective in like a procedurally generated city. Am I being blind? I forget what it's called.
Oh, it's called Shadows of Doubt.
Yeah, did you get rid of it?
I didn't get rid of anything. Oh, maybe that was image.png.
Oh yeah, there was a random black space.
I tell you what. Good start. I start as we mean to carry on.
That was the first one that I went to go and try and add.
I tell you what. Let me quickly get a copy of it now, and we can put it in.
Shadows of Doubt that it's even on the list.
Yeah. Right, there it is. Would you like to read out who submitted it as well?
So this alphabetical, isn't it? So yeah, Shadows of Doubt was by Ethan Rothschild, recommended that game. So for those who don't know, this is a game, I kind of said it, procedurally generated detective game, but it's also an immersive sim. Those that know me know I love an immersive sim. I've heard a lot of people on kind of podcasts kind of chatting about this game and just like how amazing it is. It is early access, so that might be a negative, because we could say, oh, well, let's wait until it's finished before we do it on the list. But we have done early access before, so I don't think we should discount it.
No, true. And I'm fighting every fibre of my being to not discount anything that's just on PC.
Yeah.
Because I'd love to do that, but for this, I'm not going to do that. I just have to play it in here. Okay, I can't believe that one wasn't there.
The first one I went to, and I was like, oh my God, I'm really bad at like Where's Wally and stuff, like finding things. I was like, oh God, is every time I try and add something, I'm just not going to be able to find it. Is that just going to be the trend? It's like, nope, just wasn't there.
Right, okay. For my pick, I'm going to do something. Okay, this is one that I saw and I was excited about, which is Good Boy Galaxy.
Yes.
So this is a new Game Boy Advance game. This was submitted by Eddie's channel, 3443. Basically, me and Joe have been on the new Game Boy Advance hype because we've both got analog pockets. And the fact that we could buy this straight from the developer as well, which is pretty cool because normally we're playing games that are like we're buying off eBay and they're like 30 years old. But this one, side-scrolling platformer looks pretty cool. I don't actually know that much about it other than the fact that it's a new Game Boy Advance game. So
yeah, it looks. I guess Kiro Blaster would probably be the closest comparison to one that we've done on the list, I suppose.
And I loved that. I loved Kiro Blaster.
Yeah, awesome. Right, my guy. So I'm going to do a game which is unlike not only any game that we've done on the list, but just unlike any other game. And that is Before Your Eyes. Do you know about this game, Ollie?
Yeah, this is the blinking game, isn't it?
It is the blinking game that is controlled by your blinks. I think, like, as far as I know, I think it's like scenes kind of play out that you experience, and then like every time you blink, it will change to a new scene. So I think it's probably quite a short game, I would imagine. But just because it's a modern kind of interesting game and unlike anything else, I think that would be a good shout for one to do.
Do you think it will be like school kids being like,
yeah, if you flinch or not, like flicking water at you,
blowing up.
I don't think it's like a challenge to keep your eyes open. I don't think it's like a staring contest game. I don't think it's like competitive. PvP.
Oh my god! Someone could do that VR headset staring contests. Like you could go online.
That'd have to be like a health warning, right?
I don't think anyone's ever died from a staring contest, have they?
I don't know. I mean, it's not good, right? I mean, like we added eyelids for a reason. Like there's got to be a purpose.
Right, for my next pick, it's going to be another GBA one. We got a message from Jasco Benji who asked for F-Zero. I think they asked for Maximum Velocity, which is one of the GBA ones. But for Christmas, Joe bought me F-Zero GP Legend, which is also on the GBA. So for that reason, I've changed it to that one and I'm going to add it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you know F-Zero, it kind of looks like F-Zero 99 more so than the 3D ones. And it has like a proper story for a racing game, which is quite unusual. Well, it's a bit like Ridge Racer Type 4, I suppose.
Yep.
It's proper story, isn't it? Yeah, so that's my pick.
Okay, I'm going to do a game which is pretty unlike anything that we've done. I think maybe just because of its tone more than the gameplay, maybe. I don't know a huge amount about it, but I know it's kind of like almost become a cult classic, which is surprising because it's probably the biggest franchise out of all of these games that are here. Even bigger than Mario, I'd assume, maybe. And that is Lego City Undercover. Might be an interesting one to look at.
Yeah, that one was submitted by Morg DW, who I think is a Patreon member. Yeah, that's like, so of all the Lego games, that one does appeal to me the most because it's not attached to a existing IP.
I think it's also like the least Lego-y. I think it's basically like kind of this open world, like police detective-y game, but I think it's much more of like a kind of third-person action game. I don't think there's too much like to do with building in it. So I remember like it got good reviews when it came out. I never played it, but I think that would be a curious one to look at.
I think it was like a Wii U exclusive, and then they obviously when the Wii U went down, they ported it to everything else.
Wait a minute. Wait, what do we got? What's going on here?
Oh, you got a double. Okay. So, full transparency, I normally set all these up. I left it to Joe once. It's the first time he's ever set it up. Not only we had a game missing, we had a random black square earlier on, and now we've got a double.
I wonder if the extra mirror's edge is replacing another game that is sadly not going to get a fair chance.
God, we'll find out. We'll find out when we get there. Okay, what am I going to add here? Do you know what? Seeing as I were talking about it, let's add Mirror's Edge Catalyst. So this is the sequel to the first one. This was added by Diamond Fire, who is a Patreon member. And they think it's better than the first one. I've never actually played the first one, so I don't know, but I'd be intrigued to play it. I've never played anything in the series, so...
Yeah, I love the first one. I didn't play this one because it went open world, and I kind of found that like I liked having a set route and how fast can you do it.
It's an open world game. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it didn't review as good as the first one, but I'd go in with an open mind, give it a chance.
Nice one.
I wanted there's a few games on here that I don't really know, so I might kind of ask you about them to see whether you know them. So I know you said you looked up Darkwood. What's Darkwood?
Darkwood is a top-down roguelike horror game that specifically says in its description that it does not have jump scares.
Okay.
It's on the Switch. And kind of looks like... actually, it doesn't really like Don't Starve. It's like not drawn. It's like just a top-down game.
Okay. We have done quite a lot of horror recently, but this does sound like quite different from them.
It's got great key art as well. Yeah.
And then, well, tell you what, we got 2 Paper Mario games suggested. So I think for this round, it's fair that we should probably take one of them on the journey. Have you played either of these?
The only Paper Mario game I've ever played was Super Paper Mario on the Wii. So I've not played either of these. I think the Thousand Year Door is the one that's about to get a remake.
Okay.
So maybe we should do Origami King because it's already out.
So is that this one? It's like very small text. Okay.
Yep.
And then we'll leave that one there just in case. I hopefully that's like, I feel like I've heard a Thousand Year Door more, so I wonder if that's meant to be the better one.
That's meant to be the best one, but it's like, I think it's on the GameCube, so it's like we wouldn't be able to play it.
Well, if they're gonna, shall we leave it for now then, and maybe think about that and wait for that? Leave both of them for now. Yeah,
the remake's confirmed and it's coming this year. So
okay, so let's maybe leave that one to the side for now then. Do you know much about Gunfire Reborn?
I don't. We'll have to look it up.
Yeah, let me look
up. We'll have a little look.
Gunfire Reborn. Maybe I'll read like the Wikipedia page on it, and we'll have to base it just on that.
Oh no, I do know this. This is the first person. It's another roguelike.
Okay.
I'll kind of just describe the whole thing. It's cel shaded. That's very much.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like Battleborn art style.
Yeah,
a little bit. I'm gonna put that on. That's a wild card. Like I think like I've just only kind of picked games that I at least like know a little bit about. So I'm gonna put that on, and that was suggested by Adam.
Awesome. Okay. So I'll stick with the PC theme, and I think I'll put on The Sims. And I believe the comment, which came from Flaky6988, didn't say which Sims in particular. It was just like, you can just pick any of them.
Okay.
So I think I'll do one of the console ones I can actually play. But yeah, I've never really played The Sims, ever. When I was a little kid, I remember having it, but I was like so young, I couldn't understand what I was doing with it. So, and then all I used to do was cheat and build houses. So I'd like to actually give it a go because obviously it's one of the biggest games in the world. So
yeah, I played The Sims 1 a lot. Like I loved The Sims because that was one of the games that like my sisters liked playing as well and like cared about. And so the fact that they would like talk about it, like I remember like because my sisters didn't play games at all, but like sometimes I'd walk in the room and like my older sister would be playing The Sims and I'd like it just put a little smile on my face that like they're playing a video game without me like forcing them to play with me. Kind of made me happy.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Okay, cool. So my turn. Heat Signature is another one I don't know about. Do you know anything about that?
That is by the developer who did Gunpoint. It's an indie game. I believe it's another top-down game. I think it's about like spying and agents and stuff.
Okay.
Gunpoint I played was really good. That's all I know.
Yeah, let me read. So, Heat Signature is an action stealth game. Studio behind Gunpoint. The player plays as a mercenary who takes on missions around a procedurally generated galaxy in order to liberate a space station.
God, there's a lot of procedurally generated roguelike games on this, isn't there?
Yeah, there are quite a few. Tell you what. Let's add that to the trailer. I'm trying to think of once again, like the last two I've done ones that I don't really know anything about, so I'm probably gonna stick more to like safer bets from now on. But I want you to go out your comfort zone a bit.
Oh, okay. Go out my comfort zone. Hmm. Well, I suppose then it has to be Detroit.
Into your uncomfort zone.
Yeah. From Cohen 8817. I mean, I played Heavy Rain, and I remember thinking at the time, oh, it was really cool. But then as I look back at it, I was like, this is actually not cool. But maybe my mind will be changed. And I wouldn't want it to be a lame episode of me just laying into it and then everyone telling me that I'm an idiot, because that's probably what will happen. So I'll go in with an open mind and maybe I'll be surprised.
Okay.
So there you go.
I'm gonna stick with kind of going out of my comfort zone, but to do a very famous game. I'm gonna pick Chrono Trigger, because often cited as one of, or if not the best RPG of all time. Like, I'm not really a big RPG fan, and there's been quite a few RPGs kind of recommended for people, JRPGs, so I'm hoping this will fill the slot of JRPG on the train, because out of all of them, this is the one that probably looks most appealing to me out of this selection.
Well, it's funny you say that, actually, because there's 2 games on the list, on the ones that are available, that I haven't played and would like to play, and one of them is a JRPG. So I will add that one now, which is Shin Megami Tensei 5 on the Switch.
You're not doing Kingdom Hearts. That's like your cursor like veered close, and I got worried for a second.
Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Kingdom Hearts fans. Lovely soundtrack. Go enjoy it.
So this game, JRPG, modern, 3D, and it is you capture demons and then they join your team and you build a party out of demons. Kind of like Pokemon, but I think it actually predates Pokemon by quite a lot. And
isn't like Persona like a spin-off of it, right? Because we got Persona 4 as well on the list.
Yeah, that's right. I always thought Shin Megami Tensei looked cooler though. So I've not played Persona either, to be fair. But there you go.
I'll just mention, so Hamtaro would be a cool one to do, but that was recommended by my partner Kai, and so it's a little bit of a cheat them winning. But I'll just say, like, if I could, I would put them in the driver's seat. But sorry, it'd probably be a little bit
why don't you put them down by the side of the train? They're giving like a weepy farewell to the train. Maybe
they're gonna get run over. They're like dangling off the end of the train. It's like an Uncharted mission. Like they're like holding onto each other's hands. Like, don't let go. So there is a Zuzu Pets. Is that what that is?
Yes, Zuzu Pets, Zoo's Quest. Because the commenter, Hangry Vulture, said Zuzu Pets, the platformer on DS. So I looked up which one that is, and it is like a licensed platformer. No offense to Zuzu Pets or Hangry Vulture, but it looks pretty rough going. But it could be fun. So
yeah, like
Quest
I think that might be one where they have nostalgia for it, and it wouldn't have maybe much for us.
Yeah, I can't believe we've got 2 hamster-based Portal games.
Yeah, that's true. Of all these games, we only got 1 cowboy game, but we had 2 hamster games. Cool spot once again might be like a bit of like a meme, and there's an interest. Like there would maybe be a conversation about like games used as marketing. Yeah. But I don't really want to play it for 2. I don't know if that's enough for us to choose it. What do you reckon?
I used to have it when I was a kid. And I remember it being pretty hard as a child. Whether or not it was, I don't know. I think you're right though. Like, it's the 7-Up spot is the whole premise around it. Yeah, I seem to remember it's just a platformer. I don't know if it would. Yeah.
So Fortnite's kind of interesting because for a while I've been saying about like wanting to do like a multiplayer only game.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why I'd want to pick it. But then also I'm like, I feel like I've played enough of Fortnite. I've already kind of formed my opinion on it and I've already kind of expressed it. I wonder if it would be a less interesting conversation. I feel like I know what you think of it and you know what I think of it. And so
yeah, true.
I think it would maybe be a little bit less interesting. Shovel Knight, I've kind of already played and completed, and like I enjoyed it but didn't love it, which is probably kind of the least interesting position to be. Is Pacific Drive.
That's a shame because I've not played Shovel Knight, and that was the other one that I was like, I would like to play it. But
I think you would like it more than me. Like I enjoyed it. Like I played it on Vita. It was great on Vita.
I've avoided it because I was like, it looks so much like something I'd enjoy that I would want to play all of them and it would take over my life. So I've just stayed away from it.
Yeah. It's really only one and then kind of like weird expansion-y things, right? I think.
Yeah, I think there's also like a card battler and like some other spin-offs. But yeah.
Yeah. So what about,
Guys.
I know I was talking about, we've done a lot of horror, but I feel like The Quarry is a very different type of horror from anything we've done, right? That's like what's it called? That anthology or whatever they're calling it. Dark Pictures anthology. So that's one, not the original one of that, but that's one of those.
Yes, it's the newest one.
Sure, that's something different, isn't it? It's kind of like you like make decisions, right? Is it a bit like Telltale-y?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but there's, I think there's slightly more kind of doing things in the game while like walking around and actiony things, you know, as well as the decisions.
Okay, yeah, I'll put that on.
Oh God, I'm struggling now because God, we are down to the wire already. There's so many on there that I'd want to do.
So this is your last free choice. The next one we have to agree on.
Yeah, I'm enjoying. To the surprise of no one, I'm enjoying my time with GTA 5. So Red Dead is now looking quite tempting, but we have done LA Noire.
Yeah,
GTA 5.
I kind of wrote off Red Dead just because of we've done a lot of open world Rockstar games. If you, as you say, include LA Noire in that.
I think one that could be an interesting conversation from all angles, and I believe if I don't pick it now, we'd pick it as the driver, but I'm going to pick it now just to be safe, would be Mario 64.
Yeah.
I think there's a history and tech side to it as well as it being Mario that would make an interesting conversation, especially as we've only done Ridge Racer in that generation of games. So yeah, Mario 64, I think.
And looking across this list, I think it's like the most guaranteed to be fun. You know, I'm sure I'll end up moaning about the camera like I always do, but like I'm sure like it's pretty guaranteed to be a fun couple of weeks.
Yeah. Right.
So last choice. So we haven't spoke about Wonder Song at all yet. Do you know anything about that?
I've played it. I've not finished it. I played about 2 hours of it. And it was pretty good. It was good. It was just a little bit slow. But it was fun. It's basically you solve puzzles for like, it's like open world, very small open world 2D, and you kind of solve these like little quests for people by singing, and you do that by rotating the analog stick, and it does different notes. But it's like way more slick and well done than you're imagining. Like the singing mechanic is really good.
Yeah, I think it has been on like Game Pass or something. I think I've seen it like surfaced. I've maybe seen a trailer before.
Yeah. So that's Wonder Song.
And then, so Pacific Drive's a recent game. It's kind of like you're like stuck in an alternate dimension and you kind of like got to maintain your car, and it's all quite like, there's like spiritual things kind of around you. Like it looks visually really interesting, but like, yeah, that might be an option. And then the other, well, we also haven't spoke about at all, Medieval. Did you ever play that back in the day?
I played the demo on the PS1 a million times, but I never played. Do you know what? Let's start separating these out, shall we? Let's like start putting them over on the right if we're thinking about it.
Well, so I'd say the two that I'm like would be most curious to play would be Pacific Drive.
Yep, I agree.
Or Knights of the Old Republic, because that's BioWare Star Wars game, kind of like their kind of precursor to Mass Effect, I guess. And I only ever hear really good things about it. Like, you know, obviously it's a big game, so there's always a bit of a stretch for 2 weeks, so we might not finish it. But that's always been one that I've kind of been curious to have a look at.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I've seen so much of that game over the years that I could probably form quite a good opinion on it already.
Well,
like,
it's kind of the story
like.
Is that people like, and so that's kind of hard. Like I've seen footage of it, but it's
like
I haven't experienced the story. So, you know, I mean, if it's, you know, if you don't fancy it, then we don't have to do it. But they're the two that if I had free pick, I'd probably be trying to pick between those two.
I think, to be honest with you, I'm quite happy with Pacific Drive. I would like to try that. It sounds, the thing that puts me off a little bit is the stress of surviving.
Yeah,
it sounds
that like
a cool
maintenance
concept.
thing, like that was the same with me. Would it be frustrating? But you know, I don't know. Well, I guess we'd trust the developers that they've, made it fun.
And the name, Pacific Drive? The driver of the train?
Oh, very good. Very good.
Come on, I think that's decided then, isn't it?
Yeah. Pacific Driver.
Yeah, right. So these 15 games are on the hype train and are leaving the station. But where they're going to end up, no one knows yet. Not even Joe.
I thought this was going to be a pyramid. Look, this was... When I said about this idea, that's what I said to Ollie. I said, make that. And a train showed up. I don't know what's going on.
So the hype train has reached its destination. After the lovely rolling green hills, we are now in the Tower of Babel from Doom. Oh my god. 15 games enter and only one can leave.
Oh my god. I don't like it. I want to go back to the hype train. I like the hype train.
Well, of these games, only 10 will make it to the first round. So I guess 5 of them will be like you and have to remain on the train. So okay. We're going to go 10 games, then 5, then 3, and then pick a winner. And I'm already worried because we got some good contenders in there.
I love the way that every time we have to compromise on adding the last one, like because it's always an odd number. I quite like that.
Yeah, true. Well, except the first one, I guess. But
oh yeah, because that was an even number.
Yes. I mean, there's some in my mind that are going to remain on the train, probably. We'll see at the end if I'm right.
We'll see what I do, because I might end up picking up one of the ones that you put on the list of it. We'll
see.
I know you think this is where you say goodbye to Detroit, but
that's exactly what I was thinking. That is exactly what I was thinking. If you're going to put it in as a joke, and you're going to sacrifice one of the other games, you realise that?
Yeah, if I put it in as a joke. I like Detroit. You remember? I like Detroit. That's the thing. You're the hater.
Yeah, true.
Like, I don't think it's good, but I like it.
Yeah. Okay, I am going to go first. And I mean, I guess the fact that we have 10 means we can be pretty loosey-goosey with our picks. So I think first, then I'm going to go Mario 64.
Okay.
Is in stage 1.
And then I'm going to go and put in... I'm going to do the Lego City Undercover game. I'm going to put that in.
Ooh. Okay. Oh, we're swinging now. I'm going to go F-Zero GP Legend.
I'm going to go... See, The Sims... I played the most recent Sims 4, quite a lot. And so that's a bit less interesting. So the original Sims might be a bit more interesting to me, but I'm not sure how playable that would be. That would obviously kind of be like a PC only one, probably. I know you said about doing it on console, but you kind of really want a mouse for those games. So Sims, super interesting to me. Thank you to Flaky for recommending it, but I think I'm not going to pick it here. I'm going to go with Before Your Eyes. That's still really interesting to me because it's so different.
What do you play that on?
That's probably PC, right? Because I guess you need a webcam. That's probably how they do it.
I wonder if there's a mobile version.
I wonder if there's like an attachment you do to your eye, like Clockwork Orange, and it's like a little motor, like sensors when you blink.
It's just a long stick that goes to your mouse and it clicks it.
It's said to be inverted.
Your eyes are opening.
Yeah. It closes them rather than opening them. They're always closed. They're just open for a second. It's like reverse blinking.
Right. What am I picking? I'm going to pick Chrono Trigger.
Oh, nice. One of my ones.
Yeah.
I will return the favor and do one of your ones. I'm going to do Good Boy Galaxy. Because we're all friends here. We're on the same team.
We're all friends. I mean, there's only 4 spaces left. Detroit's still safe. I think I'm going to do... I'm going to do The Quarry. I'm also interested in that.
Oh, cool. That's cool that we're picking each other's ones. So, Shadows of Doubt is like 100% my front runner. So that's probably the only game on this list that I would definitely like play if we weren't doing this. Like I would have played that in my own time anyway, but I would probably wait until 1.0 and not play early
1.0.
access, and because it might come to console then as well, which might be a little bit nicer. So, so who chose that one? That was Ethan. Thanks for the suggestion. Absolutely a me game. I will play it, but I think we'll hopefully do it on the podcast, but we'll wait off until it's finished. I think it's fair. So, sorry, I just got to separate it out. Then I got these guys to choose from. This guy did the first-person shooter roguelike. I kind of like not really knowing anything about it other than that. But like someone's obviously passionate about it. Adam kind of recommended us to do it on the list. So there's got to be something there. So I'm curious. Like I think if we did do it on the podcast, I would want to look nothing else more about it until I start playing it. So that's kind of a fun curiosity. So I'm going to put that on.
That's a good idea. I am going to pick... there's two that I would want to play on this group here. I can only pick one of them.
Do you want to say both of them? Because if I'm nice, because I could pick the other one, and then that way you're not.
So the two that I'm interested in are Shin Megami Tensei and Pacific Drive.
I'll pick Pacific Drive if you want. Like I promise you, I'll choose it, and I won't put Detroit on. Basically, if you want, so you can get both of them.
You wouldn't pick Shin Megami Tensei though.
I wouldn't play that. Like I wouldn't like say I'm not doing it on the podcast. It's not the type of game I would choose to play personally.
Okay, let's shelve it for now.
I guess it would be. I think it would have. I think it probably doesn't have a big chance of winning. I guess overall.
Okay, in that case, then I'm going to go Mirror's Edge.
Okay. And I'm going to do No. So I'm between Detroit and Shin Megami.
No, Detroit. Come on.
So I'm kind of between Heat Signature and Pacific Drive. Heat Signature, like Gunfire Reborn, I kind of enjoy not knowing anything about it. But I think between the two of them, I would probably choose that if I am going to do a complete mystery game. So for that reason, I think I'm going to do Pacific Drive. But thank you to Muppet for recommending that game. Yes, I look forward to Muppet's on the Discord a lot. So maybe when we're on, you can let us all know on the Discord why we are missing out by not choosing Heat Signature, because I've never heard of it until now.
I'm going to propose a twist. This twist is for stage 3, but I'm proposing it now so that
to prepare me, like so I don't have a heart attack.
I think for stage 3, we should each pick a game the other person picked, and then do the last one as a joint one.
Have we chose I guess it would depend if there's an equal amount of games that each of us chose, right? Like left.
Potentially. Well, it doesn't matter because there'd at least be one. It's at least going to be one from each of us there.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Because
otherwise you...
Yeah, I mean, I've tried to be fair, and not just champion the same ones the whole way through. Let's see what happens when we get to stage 3 and what games are left, if I want to do that or not.
Okay, so who is leaving stage 1 unscathed? I think I'm just going to put Pacific Drive. They're a good runner at the moment.
Yeah.
So that's a safe bet, I think.
They only just snuck onto stage 1, but yet first into stage 2. I'm going to keep Before Your Eyes going, just because same reasons as before. Just very, very unique. The only thing is for games that are very short, we often like to strategically place them around long games. Do you know what games are kind of before and after it? Is the only thing are we wasting a short game? Is my main
I can find out.
It.
I can find out. Hang on. What do we have before and after? This is May 17th. This episode will be Portal 2 before, and the one after has not been announced yet.
Okay, so I guess there's a choice to have a... Oh, wait, not announced, but it's... We know what it is.
We know.
Yeah,
we know what it is, yeah. But...
Okay, yep.
All right, cool. So Before Your Eyes is up. And then I think I'm going to bring over... Oh, this is getting tricky now, isn't it? This is getting tricky now. Good Boy Galaxy. Good Boy Galaxy's got to come over. I bet that game's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, and the unique way it's been released is interesting to me. I feel like that could be, because I think it's something to be clear, if it's not been from the whole way through, is when we pick games for the list, we're not trying to pick like the best game. We're trying to pick what would be an interesting conversation, but also, you know, not completely unenjoyable to play for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like if we just wanted to be, you know, we could just pick Mario 64 and we know exactly what we're getting, but we try to set ourselves up to hopefully be like surprised or to kind of have some sort of resolution, or sometimes it's a game that one of us personally loves and we kind of want to share with the other person. So just to be clear, like, so if you comment saying like, oh my God, how did you not choose that game? That game's amazing. It's like, well, that, like, we're not picking it by how good the game is.
So Mario 64 is looking pretty good now.
Yeah. So
should we do another joint last pick? Maybe you can pick whichever one you want for this, and then we can do a joint.
I'll show you what my front runners are, and then maybe we can say, so I'm between, like, my front runners are the top 4. So Mario 64, Lego City Undercover, Chrono Trigger, and Gunstar Reborn. Or Gunfire Reborn, sorry. They're the 4 that I was going to pick between, if you kind of want to sway me.
Well, we've got 2 slots left. Chrono Trigger, I think, is... Chrono Trigger is probably the most interesting one out of all of them, and we do only have one JRPG on the list, which is Like a Dragon.
Earthbound.
Oh, we got Earthbound as well. Yeah, true. Okay. Well, maybe then, because we have Earthbound.
Yeah, Earthbound's same generation as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So maybe for that reason, Chrono Trigger can come out.
Okay, very diplomatic. Right, so we got mystery game, like, kind of, like, we got, like, the 3 levels. We got, like, very known quantity, slight mystery, big mystery. So it's, what do you want?
I think I would enjoy the research into Super Mario 64 a lot.
And I've never played it. Like, that's such a black hole.
I know you've never played it, yeah.
In like my gaming,
and it's on the Switch online thing, so it's not even difficult to play.
Yeah, well, and I bought the pack, like the up-res one, you know, where they packed like 3 games in together.
Yeah.
For like a limited time, because I brought that to play Galaxy.
Oh, what a game! What a great game! I tell you what, you can whichever one you want of the last 2, because I'm happy with that.
Okay, sorry, Lego City Undercover. I think the fact that you're an open world game kind of hurts a bit, because I tend to not like open world games. I'm curious, maybe, you know, the games that don't make it on doesn't mean we're never going to do them, but I'm just so curious about this Gunfire Reborn. I just love the mystery.
Yeah. Also, to be fair, like Lego City Undercover, we have done Like a Dragon, GTA, LA Noire, all quite close together. And they're all open world city games, so
yeah. And obviously, it's a very different tone and different
vibe,
style.
Different vibe.
It was close. It was close between them.
It was close.
We got our final 5.
Right. So, should we do my twist then, where I pick one of yours and you pick one of mine, and then we agreed on the last one?
But what's even yours as mine? Because we agreed on Mario 64, Pacific Drive. I chose it first time. You chose it second. What does that even mean anymore? Like yours or mine?
All right. Fair enough. I think I'm going to go Good Boy Galaxy. That was the one that jumps out at me from the comments as well, which was submitted by Eddie's channel, 3443. So that's my first pick.
It interests me, the fact it's like a modern Game Boy Advance game is curious to me, but just that style of side-scrolly shooter is... I feel like there's like I may be surprised, but there's a bar to how much I'm ever going to enjoy them. You know, like I see the level that you enjoy, like Metal Slug, and like I like it, and I think like the animation's amazing, but like I will rarely play one for more than like 20 minutes, and like I'm just done at that point.
I made a mistake. But
I'm super like the fact that like, and the like, I love my Analog Pocket, and the fact that like, I could just have 2 weeks playing on that is really appealing. But the genre of game is a little bit less appealing to me.
Okay.
No surprise, I'm going to champion my, I guess, kind of because of Shadows of Doubt early access, kind of Before Your Eyes has been my front runner. So I'm going to bring that forward.
Okay. I think we need to make an agreement on this last one. And I think for me, a big part of it at this point, because they're all games I'd want to play, Pacific Drive and Gunfire Reborn, I need to look at what platforms they're on, because I'm not entirely sure. Obviously, I think
Pacific Drive's console. I don't know about Gunfire Reborn.
Pacific Drive, PlayStation 5, and Steam. I have a PS5, so that's fine. Gunfire Reborn. It's on everything. It's even on the Switch. It's even on Android. You can play it on your phone if you wanted.
Oh my god, actually, I'm playing it right now. How did that happen?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no platform kind of really advantage for them, really. I would be happy with any three of them. So I think you are leaning Mario, and I would be fine with Mario because it is of a generation of games that we have only done one of, which is Ridge Racer.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I will be honest, that Gunfire Reborn, it looked cool, but it didn't look like something I don't really play first-person shooters, so I think I'd struggle with that. Also, well, I don't know, I've not played it. I'm not going to comment any more than that. I've not played it.
And
just
then, like,
face value, that's what I think.
Pacific Drive looks super cool. Like, I really love the art style. But in terms of for like modern kind of like, I guess, big indie games, there's probably other ones I would choose over it if I was kind of doing it for my personal time. So like it is a curiosity to me and I like the look of it. But I feel like if I was just doing a free choice of games for myself, like there's probably games that came out recently that I would choose over it. And so
I feel like I want to play it in my own time as well. I don't want to play it under the pressure of the podcast.
The intense pressure that the podcast puts on. It sounds like it's Mario.
The time. Yeah, it sounds like Mario. Yeah,
it's Mario. Oh, this is like that's a great I would like be happy with any of these. So I'm not going to be disappointed no matter what.
Okay. Well, this is something we never do. So the audience knows it's something we never do. I'm thinking about the episode, and I don't know if Before Your Eyes could stand to make a good episode because it's so simple. We're both going to have the same route through it, I assume. I don't know if it's going to be that interesting. I feel like it'd be one of those things that it'll be like, oh yeah, that was interesting. And then that's kind of the end of it. I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know what the story is. So it's basically all about the story. Because I kind of have similar concerns about Good Boy Galaxy in terms of, you know, if it's like, from what I've seen, side-scrolly shooter against like loads of enemies, like how much is there? Like it could be super fun and feel really good. How much is there to discuss and dissect there? I think the conversation might be mostly around what we find out about the development and the release and kind of the scene of like kind of modern retro games could be an interesting discussion. The game, I don't know, you know, that is kind of, I would like, I understand your point for Before Your Eyes. I would maybe kind of say the same for Good Boy Galaxy. For Mario, I think that could be like easily a 5-hour episode with the amount we could talk about. But then again, it's like, it's one of the biggest games of all time. And, you know, we kind of like being a little bit like indie and a little bit like talking about things that no one else is talking about.
Oh, it's
and
so
Good Boy
difficult.
Galaxy would be a great shout for that.
Yeah, this is so difficult. I think in terms of Good Boy Galaxy versus Before Your Eyes, I think Good Boy Galaxy will have more mechanical depth. I don't know what there is there because I don't know much about the game, but it's definitely more than blinking. So there's that. It has that slight
but doesn't that make Before Your Eyes interesting? The fact that is like the only thing you do is blink, that just makes it so unlikely. Is like in Good Boy Galaxy, like is A jump, is B shoot, or are they the other way around? You know, it's sort of like.
Well, we don't know. There might be more to it.
I know,
more to it, but we know Before Your Eyes does only have blinking. We know.
Yeah,
that.
And I think you're saying that as a negative, whereas I see that as a positive because it makes it so weird. Like, how are they making a game over just blinking? Like, I see that as like, you know, I don't want every game to do that, but like that makes it like such like an oddity.
Oh God, this is impossible because I'll be happy to do any of them.
Yeah, so I think I have one that I'm leaning to out of the three. Like I can say it now, but I don't know if that would sway you or if you want to kind of try and come up to your own conclusion.
Should we champion one and then say we'll do the other two in the future? At some point?
I think if we do that, we completely ruin, like, what's the point of this video if we're like, you know, like I feel that there's got to be some stakes.
If we could only do one of these games, then I would do Good Boy Galaxy. Because I think I'd support that developer, which is cool. I'd probably not play it on my own time because I'd be like, oh, 20 quid for a GBA game? I don't know about that. So I probably wouldn't play it on my own.
So do we have to order a cartridge? Is that the way it works?
No, you pay them. There is a cartridge coming. It's just not out yet. So you just get a ROM at the moment.
Okay.
And then you load it on the SD card. But because I've played Mario 64 before. Everyone knows it's good. I think Before Your Eyes, I just don't know enough about it. Maybe I should look it up.
It reviewed super well. I remember like everyone doing like their end of the year list, it performing really well, which is impressive for a game that's controlled by blinking. Like I think it's like an emotional, touching story. Like I've not looked into it at all because I thought it's a game that I might play sometime. But like I think the art looks really cool.
Yeah, okay, so it's a bit more, it's an hour and a half. And I think there's a bit more to it than I thought. Because you change the narrative. But I thought you just watched it. What can you play it on? Before Your Eyes. Let's have a look. Yeah, Mac, iOS, PlayStation VR 2. So it's a VR game, but it has a...
I think VR might have come later, I believe. Shall I tell you which one I'm leaning towards out of the three?
Yeah.
I'm leaning Mario. But that's very cool. Much because I've never played it. So I think that maybe makes it more interesting for me than you. Like, I mean, I've only played it with you. I've finished it multiple times. When we did the best of 3. And you saw how that went. We tried to control it when we didn't have the controls configured right on the control. Do you remember that? Configured the controls wrong. That's my only experience was emulating it on a Mac. So I have not had the best first impression of it. But
Super
a lot of
Mario
people say
64
it
best of
holds
3. Yeah.
Like, so I'm leaning Mario. Like, if you want to just pick one, I would be absolutely happy with it. Like, if we do Good Boy Galaxy, like, I would be 0% disappointed.
How do you feel about the concept of us signal boosting Good Boy Galaxy in that I don't feel like we'll be telling anyone about Mario 64 for the first time, but Good Boy Galaxy might.
Might go viral. Might go viral. Very likely.
That's what I'm
very
trying
likely.
To say. But also, that's also why I'm leaning towards it. But then Super Mario 64 would be really fun. But does that mean if we do Good Boy Galaxy, we can never do Mario 64?
I think we could be like, we can't say we're going to do it in like a few weeks later. Like, I don't think it rules it out. We'll never do it. But like, I don't think we can be like, oh yeah, we'll do that in like 3 months' time. Because there needs to be stakes to this decision.
Yeah. I don't like that you're leaving it to me. Good Boy Galaxy. Okay, so it's currently on the GBA, PC, and it's coming to the Switch as well, which is pretty cool. Looks like it is pretty much as simple as you said, though, from the game features. Let's do Mario 64.
Yeah.
Let's do Mario 64. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Do you know what? It's quite cool considering how varied all of the games were. We ended up with 3 where like we were really struggling to decide. Like the way I thought this would go is we'd get to stage 3 and I thought we'd be having a debate about what's number 1. But we were both just really indecisive. So that's kind of really cool that 3 like extremely vastly different games, we were all like both so undecided about which one to go for.
Yeah, Super Mario 64 submitted by Apple a Day 7504. Thank you for submitting that. Did we pick the right one or did we pick the mainstream loser one? Two cool outsider art games, more like Mario 64.
We're still. This is if you want to change it, we're still in the video. This is your last chance if you want to switch.
Have you look at the website for Good Boy Galaxy right now, and tell me what you think.
I did look at.
I
did look it up a bit before when I saw the comment.
If you scroll down a bit, there's a game features and then loads of screenshots. That's the bit I was looking at.
One of the things with it being a Game Boy Advance game that I'm playing on the Analog Pocket, and I guess you would be as well, is that the Analog Pocket is better for Game Boy games because of the ratio. Because you do obviously get like black lines.
Oh, that doesn't bother me. That's fine.
No, the animation looks like lovely, and it's just cool that they designed it with like the that like shooting the teleporty thing. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah.
That it look like if it's got puzzly stuff, that's a bit more interesting for me. So it says explore jam-packed levels
it looks good.
with multiple routes. Make
We can talk about the
50
routes.
plus friends. Upgrade your blaster. So it's got like, okay, no, this is more of, I was thinking more Metal Slug, like shoot
It
the waves
sounds like
of
Carrot
enemies.
Blaster to me. Carrot Blaster sounds very, and from the pictures as well.
Yeah, and it's got like a fishing mini game and stuff. Like
should we do Good Boy Galaxy then? Come on. Sorry,
no.
Mario 64.
I'm so sorry. Who said Mario 64? I'm so sorry.
Apple a day. I'm sorry. Good Boy Galaxy. I mean, I feel a bit weird because it was the first one I picked, but I was just like, this looks cool.
Looking that up, it looks much more interesting to me now. The fact there's like dialogue in it, multiple choices, upgrading things, like it looks like it's got more depth than this type of game would have had back in the day. And the fact that they've developed this modern game with like the hardware restrictions of like a 20-year-old handheld console is like super interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
Good Boy Galaxy. Sorry, man.
Yes, Good Boy Galaxy's in. I'm sorry. Sorry,
but
Mario
then
64.
again, Before Your Eyes is.
Then
again,
Before Your
Detroit
Eyes,
Become Human is a masterpiece.
I didn't even make it off the station.
They made it on the train. Made it on the train.
The other end, it faltered. Well, there we go. I guess if we're saying we're not going to never do these games in the future, they'll appear maybe somewhere down the line. But for now, May 17th, Good Boy Galaxy.
Good Boy Galaxy. A game that's probably like only me, you, and sorry, how do you spell that name?
Eddie's channel.
Eddie's channel. It's probably the three of us are the only ones who's ever heard of this, probably. And now you as well. So a shock winner for our May 17th bonus points main podcast game.
Nice one. Okay, well, I think that is us. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thank you so much for submitting so many varied games as well. Like loads of things we never even would have thought about. In fact, I don't think any of the ones submitted were even on our list. We have lists ourselves that we pick from.
Shadows of Doubt was on mine. I think it's the only one, but I was holding off, as I said, for it to come out. So I think that's the only one. But like looking here at like these 15 that made it through, like apart from maybe the Persona 10 Megami Tensei, that's probably the only one out of there. And Mirror's Edge Catalyst. They're probably the only two that I wouldn't want to do.
Oh, okay.
Out of all of
even
them.
Detroit?
Like,
you'd want to do Detroit?
Yeah, I'd want to have that conversation. Like I wouldn't want to play it again, but I'd want to have that conversation.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, nice one. I guess that's us then. So cheers, everyone. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.